And now COP30 in Belém is entering its critical final day as global leaders work together to reach a consensus on ambitious emission cuts and climate finance. The EU has set a bold target to reduce net emission by up to 72.5 by 2035. And now, meanwhile, Vietnam, as highlighted at COP30, plans to cut emission by 9% by 2030 with international support, aiming to increase reduction to 27% with adequate assistance. Now, Vietnam's draft NDC 3.0 highlights major emission cuts in cement and steel, with public-private efforts cutting over 350 million tons of carbon dioxide, equivalent by 2025, reflecting significant strides towards its green economy goals as well as the COP30 commitments. So now let's move on with a talk to explore the vital link between the international standards, national strategy, and practical industrial action. We now welcome Emmanuel Herve, the Managing Director for ASEAN at British Standards Institution. Emmanuel, welcome to the program. So the first question is, given Vietnam's push for a green economy, how can COP30's outcomes support domestic policy in Vietnam to accelerate this whole system decarbonization?
Well, COP30 puts a lot of goalposts. So at least it gives clear directions or clear end results that should be achieved by organization. And by having these harmonizations, it gives very clear requirements for both governments and for organization. What are the steps that we need to undertake in order to meet our decarbonization objectives, our carbon neutrality objective, and ultimately our net zero objectives? There's a lot of confusion around those terms, but basically one step at a time, one step through carbon neutrality and the ultimate goal being net zero. So it's just a matter of learning the process and reaching the goals that have been established by COP30, which is giving life and validity to the work that is being done by the industries in Vietnam. It's also linking to innovations in Vietnam and supporting innovation projects through the green initiatives.
So at the COP30, the Just Transition mandate emphasizes a fair and inclusive shift to a sustainable economy that protects workers and vulnerable groups, ensuring social equity alongside the climate action. So how does COP30's Just Action mandate guide the Vietnamese consumers' daily purchasing decisions to drive circular economy adoption?
It is the consumers that will direct the behaviors of the organizations by the choice they make when they purchase a product. That means that when we looked at the data, 67% of consumers will make an act of buying a product if that product has been going through an upcycling or recycling process, meaning that they are ready to buy products through the circular economy concept. So the concept here is to make sure that there is a systematic approach to the fabrication of the products that will go to the consumer. That is the concept surrounding the upcycling, recycling, and circular economy. And this is very much the whole concept on the transition mandate from the COP30, is making sure that, yes, we are using more products that are emanating from the circular economy, but we are doing so in a way that is safe for the consumer and also bring benefits in terms of sustainability and climate change.
Yes, thank you very much for your insight.